What's going on, everybody? I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend. We are back after a week-long hiatus. It was an unexpected one last week. We'll get into it here in a minute, but you made it to the weekend. It's a long weekend, too. We will be here to keep you guys company. Thank you guys again for joining us. Before we get started, don't forget to follow us on the social medias if you guys got them. You can follow us on Twitter at @theblown_save and on Instagram at @theblown_save. Don't forget you can also still reach out to us personally at theblownSavePodcast@gmail.com. Make sure you guys are letting all your friends, family, and loved ones know, hey, if you guys heard these guys are pretty damn good. And of course, I am nobody without my compadre. So let's go ahead and bring him on in. Compa, how you doing, Bubby?
Living the dream.
There you go. Living the dream with a brand new pool and a brand new backyard. I am jealous.
Yeah, breaking it in this weekend. Looking forward to having friends and family over here.
Framly, I like it. It's Framly. We're Framly now.
Right. Sure. Forever and ever.
And ever and ever. Forever, ever. I was just telling the audience right now, we wanted to talk about last week. We had some technical difficulties. We were ready to stream, or we were ready to record, but we were unable to because the guys from the South Bay Breaks that we were supposed to have on, they couldn't figure out why they were not coming across on the Discord. And by the time they were trying to figure it out, it was already really late. We had to get out of there. We had an early morning on Saturday, so we were just like, you know what, let's cut it. We'll try and get back together on Sunday, try and record something. I think we were both just really tired from Saturday that we were like, all right, screw this shit. We'll just wait till Friday. So we got a bunch of stuff we're going to talk about that happened last week, a bunch of stuff that happened this week. But we're going to have a good damn time doing it. And I'm actually having a whiskey right now. Compa, are you having anything tonight?
I'm having a whiskey too, a Jack and Pepsi, not Coke.
Pepsi. Don't let them hear you say that, man. That's sacrilegious, bro.
I know. That's all I had.
All right. I'm sure they'll forgive you. I'm having some Jameson and ginger ale. I'm having some Schweppes ginger ale because it's like $2 cheaper than the fancy one. So I'll take it all day, twice on Sunday. Speaking of which, though, I do want to make a comment real quick, Compa, if you don't mind. This weekend, as you guys are enjoying a 3 or 4 day long weekend, remember why it is the weekend that remember why it is that you have this weekend. It's Memorial Weekend. Well, depending on when you listen to us, but right now where we're recording, it's Memorial Weekend. It represents the remembrance of those who did not make it home, those of them who made the ultimate sacrifice, for all of us who are enjoying our time with our friends, family, and loved ones. So I tip my cap to all my fallen brothers and sisters. Cheers. You are gone, but you're not forgotten. We love you all, so thank you very much. All right.
Right. You want to hear something funny about that?
Let's go.
So, I used to think Memorial Day was like, for just soldiers in general, right? Like you and my cousin Mike.
Marines.
I get it,
okay.
You're a Marine, but still military people, right?
Gotcha.
Personnel. Because we already had that discussion, Marines and soldiers, same thing. Anyways, so I used to think like, oh, it's for you guys, right? But it's actually for the people that are gone, you said, they're fallen. So I told that to my cousin, something again real quick in passing, and Mike it was bothering him. He's like, it's for the people that didn't make it back, right? That passed away, blah, blah, blah. I say, I know. I like to think of the old Mike is dead. So I didn't have a comeback the first time. So the second time I did have a comeback ready in case he did tell me, because it bothered him last time too when I kind of said that, right?
Yeah.
And then I kind of knew this time, and I said, yeah, I like to think the old Mike is dead. That's why. And he's like, that's funny. That's a good one. All right, bro. And I told him I had to come back ready for you this time.
There you go. I mean, I've had people tell me, you included, tell me, Happy Memorial Day and this and that. I just say, well, thank you. I appreciate it. I do try to mention, hey, it's for the fallen, soldiers, Marines.
You fell once or twice, no?
So I got bad knees, bro. That's why I got bad knees.
Broke ankle, right?
Yeah, well, I did. Oh, don't bring up the ankle. Oh, no.
Just saying. You said fallen.
Yeah. Those of them who did not make it home. But I don't, correct people's when people say that, to me, it's their heart's in the right place. They're trying to I don't know how to say it. They're trying to bring light of the subject, which is fine to me, as long as you're paying attention and you're trying to figure out about it or talk about it. Hey, I'm cool with it, man. Go ahead and say it. I'll say thank you very much. I appreciate it. It's for those that it's Memorial Day. We remember those that never made it back. I'll get back to me on Veterans Day. I'll be right here. All right, man. Let's quick sponsor for the show. Big shout out, like I said, to our friends over at the South Bay Breaks. They're breaking the base cards live on YouTube. Check them out and let them know the Blown Tape guys sent you for a referral discount. So let's get into it. We got a lot of baseball to talk about. We got a little bit of basketball. We got a little bit of football to talk about. So let's get into it. Last week we had your main Mercedes swung 3-0 against position player. That Tortuga was back on the mound throwing those 46-mile-an-hour slow balls, I guess. He hit a jack to dead center. The announcer came out and said he didn't like it. Swinging 3-0, that he would have most likely gotten the same pitch 3-1 if he would have let that one go. What do you think about that unwritten rule? What are when you're up by, I don't know, whatever amount of runs, you don't swing at a 3-0 pitch? What do you think about that?
I have a problem with this, especially when a dude like him is trying to make his name in baseball. I mean, why can't he swing 3-0? Why is it an unwritten rule? Like, that's some of the things I don't understand. If you bring in a position player to pitch, how is that not an unwritten rule? Like, you're almost slapping the major leaguers in the face by bringing someone in. Like, oh, hey, you know what? We're just trying to save our lineup and we'll get you tomorrow type of thing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's just, to me, that's silly, you know?
Yeah, Bauer came out and said something very similar to that. He said, dear hitters, if you hit a 3-0 homer off me, I will not consider it a crime. Dear people who are still mad about a hitter hitting, kindly get out of the game. And I can't believe that we were talking about a 3-0 swing. If you don't like it, managers and pitchers, just be better.
Right.
I'm kind of on the fence, bro. Like, I don't care. You know, you're losing by 10. All right, cool, whatever. You can't fault a guy for trying. I mean, these guys. I mean, he's one of the breakout stars of the season so far, right?
Yeah,
and
sure.
You can't fault him for wanting to continue his historic. I don't want to say historic season, but his great start. You know what I mean? He's up for a contract at the end of the season. He's trying to do everything he can to go, look, man, I'm your guy. You don't need another catcher. You got me.
Right.
And so
I establish himself for sure.
I cannot fault him for that, man. I definitely can't fault him for that. But a lot of the older cats talking about, I don't like it, swinging 3-0. I mean, if you were in that situation, Artie, would you take a swing?
If I was trying to feed my family and stuff like that, yeah, man, I could care less about written rules. They're doing it for a job, you know what I'm saying? Like, that type of thing. Yeah, man, I don't have. Yeah, I would swing. I'd get it. Shoot, I don't think. See, but also too, like, if I had that kind of talent, because I still one of the big memories. I was talking about it to a student of mine the other day. So I was a good hitter, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I was like a great hitter, but I was a really good hitter. I was better. I was better than most. And I was a number 4 hitter for the most part on my team, and most teams I've ever played on. So one time I remember the coach, we had a sign for like swing away on a 3-0 pitch, and he's like, he wanted me to swing, and it's a very specific sign. And I hadn't gotten that sign, right, like before, but it was bases loaded and like 1 out or something. And now that I'm older, I understand why he gave me the green light. Yeah. And here's why. It was a 3-0, bases loaded, 1 out. The game was, I guess, kind of close. I don't remember if we're winning or losing or not, right? But I specifically remember 3-0, and he gave me the sign. And there's supposed to be a sign that I give back to him. And so then I gave him the sign, like, back, and he gave me the sign back, like, yeah, you saw what you saw, right? So I went up there, and I took the pitch. And it was a fat pitch, let me tell you. Like, it's what you should be looking for. And I just took it just because I wasn't, like, I wasn't comfortable as a player swinging 3-0. It's not that, like, I had a problem with swinging 3-0. I just wasn't comfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
there's a slight difference. So, and yeah, so that's kind of something, I guess, you know, for me. It's slightly different. But if that dude had the confidence to swing 3-0, I mean, sometimes your instincts just kick in, you know?
Go to town.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't throwing hard, so he was able to contemplate it, order a pizza, have a couple beers, talk to the ball girl.
It's not as easy as people think, especially when you're used to hitting 90,
oh, yeah.
90 plus. You know what I'm saying? That was like a softball pitch, like
yeah,
an
and he
underhand
jacked
softball
it,
pitch.
bro. He
And
jacked
he
it with
did.
the wood bat.
It's
with
so
the wood
hard
bat.
to hit a baseball that's a lot smaller that far, dude. Like, man, it's hard because you're providing all the power off of that.
Yeah. I mean, I can't fault him. Like I said, I know, I don't want to say growing up, right, playing the game, but it's come up. There are certain unwritten rules that you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to do this. You're not supposed to do that. But fuck, at the end of the game, dude, it's baseball. Just fucking have fun. And if he missed the sign and swung 3-0 anyways, then fuck it. He swung 3-0. You guys are up by fucking 11. Who cares? At that point, why is anybody even talking shit?
Right.
You know what I mean?
What I don't understand is his own manager wasn't backing him up, dude. His own manager was like, dude, there's going to be consequences for what he did.
Yeah.
And there's going to be issues here within your own team. And it's like, dude, LaRusso, you old ass fogey, you're like, that's it, man. Your time's done. You shouldn't even be managing anymore. I get that he just has a really talented team, which is why he's in first and why we said he was going to be in first,
Yeah.
But I just thought that was like, man, when have you ever heard like a manager not defend his player? You know what I'm saying?
It's ridiculous.
Or at least try to plead the fifth. This dude like actually was against his player. You know what I'm saying? He was like,
you go out there and you go, you know what, man, we're gonna have a talk about it, but it is what it is. He missed the sign. We were up by 11 at that point. I mean, from my understanding, that they came back. The other team came back and scored like 8 runs before the end of the game. So like they were fighting back. They were battling.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to tell them, all right, cool, we're not going to swing, but that means you guys don't have to. I mean, at that point, call the game then. If you're not going to actively try to win the game, and you're going to throw out a position player, all right, cool, whatever, then you just want to call the game then? Like, everybody save a little bit of time. You guys call it a night. We call it a night. We'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like that. Mm-hmm.
At that point, I think it should be discussed. If you're going to roll out, if you're losing by that much and you're going to roll out a position player, the manager should be able to, the winning manager should be able to go over there and go, hey, man, look, if you're going to do this and you're kind of giving up, well, then you just want to call it a night. Let's get out of here. You know what I mean? Save.
Want to hear a theory?
What's that?
Want to hear a theory? I think that they should go to a mercy rule and give a 1.5 game wins if someone mercies another team.
Ooh.
How much incentive would that be for people to play harder?
Ooh. I like it. I like it a lot. I like it.
Yeah. You know
Damn,
what I'm saying?
that would be fat, dude. That would be like, oh, you got mercy. Like who else played? Somebody played this earlier. I think like 2 weeks ago, a week ago. They won like 20-2. Like at that point, okay, mercy rule.
I think
it's something like that. It was a ridiculous fucking score. I think it was on Saturday when we were in Vegas. Either way. But I think that would be excellent incentive because then you're not just throwing out a freaking position player to go pitch. You're throwing out your guys to go out there and try and battle back and try and fight, claw your way back into the game because you know you're about to lose a game and a half.
Mm-hmm.
I'm MLB, you just got put on notice by my compadre, Artie Casas, El Coach Casas. He's telling you what to do, and I like it. I don't know about you guys at home, but I like it.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great situation, that fucking keep people honest, stupid position players pitching, like dudes swinging 3-0 and bitching about it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. From one pitcher to another, we had our 6th no-hitter of the season, technically 7th, but 6th no-hitter of the season. Corey
Technically,
Kluber.
it wasn't the 7th, though.
I know, because they say that wasn't a full game, but if they call a game for 7 innings, then it's a full game.
Well, technically, it wasn't a no-hitter, though.
Corey Kluber hit a no-hitter, threw a no-hitter against the Rangers, who have already been no-hit this year. So twice they've been no-hit this year. On Corey Kluber bobblehead night in Texas. Kluber was with the Rangers last season, pitched 18 pitches in one game, went down with an injury, and never played with the Rangers again. By the end of this season... it won't be quite as special as it used to be. We discussed, the modern era of baseball, and the record for no-hitters in the season is 7, and this has only happened 3 times, 1990, 91, and 2012. We've already had 6 this year officially, and we're on pace to see more than 20 no-hitters. This is the most no-hitters before June that's ever happened in the modern era of baseball. Are we in a true dead ball era, and is this going to be the rise of the pitchers?
I don't think it's a dead ball era. There's still a lot of home runs, dude. Look how many home runs freaking a pitcher has 16, 15 home runs, you know? Like, come on now. It's not necessarily a dead ball era, but it is, I think the rise of the pitchers is a good way to call it, you know? I definitely could see that. How about this? I want to give you something. What about an over-under? How many no-hitters do you think we will see this year? Over-under. I'm going to say the over-under number would be 10. Over-under 10.
I knew you were going to say 10. This is my dad's favorite part of the show. Not really, but he's told me like a billion times, don't do the over-unders. But we're only doing this one, Dad. Don't worry.
He said, don't do them?
Yeah, he said, because that one time we did like 40 of them. We were like, over-under this, over-under that. He's like, fuck, I was tired of hearing the over-unders. But we're only doing one. Over-under 10 no-hitters this year. Shit. And we can't pick 10. 10 was my number. I was like, if he says 9, I'm going to go over because I think 10. But if he says 11, I'm going to go under because I think 10. I'm going to go over just because I think we're going to get 11 at that point. My number is 10. I think we're going to end up 10. So I think it'll be a wash. But if I had to go over-under, I think over. I mean, just the way everybody's been pitching very well. People are just – the ball is doing things. You know what I mean? They're talking about moving the mound around again. They're talking – I mean, yes, people are still hitting home runs, but 6 no-hitters before June, that says something. I think we're going to be over 10. That's my final answer, over 10. What about you, Artie?
I think you're right. I think it's a tough number as well. Where it's like, damn, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
You would have said this or
like
that.
I said, if you would have said 9, I'd have been like, all right, over, because I think 10. You'd have said 11, I'd have been like, no, under. I think 10's a good number. I think that's what we're going to end up at is 10. But if you're going to make me choose either 9 or 11, I'm going to go with 11 just because I think right now the way the ball's going, and then we're going to get into some stuff later that's going on right now with pitchers doctoring the ball legally or illegally or MLB shutting his eyes for certain things. I think that the ball is I mean, there's going to be more no-hitters than ever before in one season.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
We're at 6 right now, right, Compa?
Right, we're at 6.
So that means we'd have to, and it can't be a push at 10, so that means we'd have to see 3 the rest of the way. I'm going to stay with under. I'm going to go with 9.
All right.
And I'm which will break the record still. I think they're going to break the record.
Oh, yeah. If you're going to ask me if they're going to break the record, I said yeah.
Yeah. I just don't – the no-hitters don't come out that often. I know it's just been kind of one of those things where they've happened a lot this year, but they don't – I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a fluke. Mm-hmm. You know, I think it is a little bit of a fluke. So
here's I got one for you. Do you think any pitcher is going to throw more than one?
No. Hell no.
Got really
Look
quiet.
at who's throwing them.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing things out. I got
Kluber's hurt, right?
This is a show. Yeah, this is a show of us going back and forth throwing shit at each other. All right, I just threw some shit at you, bro.
Yeah, your dad's gonna get mad for asking that over under stuff. Or, someone's gonna do a double. Who let's name the 6 guys again. We
got Rodon.
Okay, yeah, he's not throwing another.
Kluber is not gonna throw another.
No, because he's hurt.
Who else?
He's past his prime too.
Yeah. Try to think. We have the list because we did it the other couple shows ago.
I just don't think it. I remember it not being any other guys. John Means, the dude from Oakland, right? I think.
Oh yeah.
So dude. I feel like all these dudes are fluky players. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not bad players, but they're not like horses. You know what I'm saying? They're not Justin Verlanders and Kershaws and like dudes that flirt with going to no hitter almost every time they go to pitch. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if one of those dudes already had one under his belt already, and he's a dude, because Kluber is awesome, but he's past his prime, as you can tell, because he's getting hurt every year now. You know what I'm saying? So, he would be the only dude I'd say, okay, he has the stuff to throw another one. But I don't think he will, you know? Mm-hmm. Obviously, he's hurt, so his chances go even further down. So, so I'm going to say no. And considering it's only happened, I believe, once ever, and it was a dude that did it back-to-back games. Johnny. Oh, do you know the name?
Mnemonic. No. Johnny.
No, Johnny Vandermeer, I believe is his name.
Really? He was the last one to do it?
He's the only one to do it. The only one to ever throw
two
no-hitters in a season, and he threw back-to-back games.
I believe he may have been the only one to do it in back-to-back games, but the only person, no two no-hitters in a single game?
In a single game?
In a single season?
Not as far as I know. I mean, I could be wrong, but as far as I know, no.
I want to say...
Don't tell me Nolan Ryan.
I want to say Nolan Ryan.
Well, yeah, you would be wrong, I think. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I feel very confident saying no.
It says here, the pitcher who holds the record for the shortest time in between no-hitters is Johnny Vandermeer. The only pitcher in MLB history to throw no-hitters in consecutive starts. You are absolutely correct. Besides,
say it again. I love how that sounds.
You are correct. Besides Vandermeer, Ellie Reynolds in 1951, Virgil Trucks in 1952, and Nolan Ryan in 1973, and Max Scherzer
correct there.
In 2015 are the only other major leaguers to throw two no-hitters in the regular season, and you are wrong, sir.
See, I said, hey, dude, Max Scherzer 2 in one season. Wow,
yeah,
I did not
2015.
Know that. Wow, did not know that. Let me tell you, that is impressive. The dudes way back in when, I'm not impressed with them. Nolan Ryan, of course, right? But Scherzer, dude, during the hitting fest era, through 2 in one season, wow.
Who are the top two names? I know you know them both. Top two names for the most no hitters.
Nolan Ryan and I'm gonna say Verlander.
No. Oh my God.
Or Koufax.
Koufax. There it is. But you didn't say it first, so you lose.
I was thinking, well, who has the most active no-hitters among players?
It would be Scherzer.
Yeah, no.
Oh, Verlander.
Yeah, you need to first.
Well, technically, Verlander's not active right now. Technically, Verlander is not active.
Someone needs it first. Tell me if I sounded like Brent, people.
He may not have, guys. He did not. Oh shit! So we're talking about the 6 no-hitters, right? And of course, like we said before, it does exclude Madison Bumgarner's faux hitter when he completed the game as scheduled and did not allow a hit. It's still beyond my comprehension how the league can schedule an official game for 7 innings and then turn around and say it's not a pitcher, it's not a no-hitter. So, I mean, it is what it is. I guess semantics at that point. You can be on both sides of the thing. I'm going to stop beating a dead horse on this one. I'll spin things forward here, though, and discuss why we're going to see a lot more no-hitters this season, watering down what has long been baseball's most hailed accomplishment on a single-game level. What do you think? I mean, when we talked about this, I guess, do you think moving forward we're going to see more no-hitters per capita now that they altered the balls?
Well, see, here's the thing. I think we've seen so many no-hitters right now because we just came off of a strange season. And then, too, the ball usually doesn't fly like early on. The ball flies more later on once it heats up. So I think because it flies more, once it heats up, that's going to mean less no-hitters. You get what I'm saying? That's why where I was like, I was really fighting taking the over. And I'm like, I'm going to stay the under because I'm like, I could see 3 more no-hitters being thrown. And that still keeps me at 9. It still breaks the record, but stays under 10. So that's my reasoning behind that.
Yeah. All right. Just so much has happened, dude. I mean, they lowered the mound back in what 68 because the hitters were getting they had the highest batting average league wide, and it was at like 237, I guess was the average batting average league wide, which was high for the entire league. The pitchers became too dominant. They moved the mound down to kind of help out with that. But it looks like, with the change of the baseball, what people are liking to call the spin rate now, the little special sauce they've been using a little bit more. I mean,
yeah.
Could we see a change in the way baseball, looks? I mean, honestly, we've seen, along with spin rate, and along with more strikeouts and obviously more no-hitters now, or at least this season so far, we've also seen a skyrocket in the amount of Tommy John surgery on pitchers as well, because they're throwing a lot harder and they're throwing a little bit recklessly instead of pitching a little bit safer and a little more methodically. How long do you think this is going to last, allowing pitchers to get hurt this way, or do you think it's just part of the game?
I think it's part of the game. And also, too, the Tommy John has made it, like, less of a big thing, meaning, like, well, at least we could fix it if something goes wrong, you know?
Yeah.
That's what I kind of feel like's happened. Like, oh, well, there's a fix for it if something goes wrong. So I don't care that I'm going out there and throwing this crazy high velo at funky, weird angles, you know?
Yeah. All right, well, let's talk about another pitcher, one of my favorite pitchers, Mr. Shohei Ohtani. He's been doing actually pretty damn well. But can he keep it up? We've already noticed that his velocity has come down. At the beginning of the year, at the beginning of the season, 2 months ago, he was touching 100, 101. And now he's averaging between 95 and 96 mile an hour on that fastball. So he's getting a little tired. He's really tired right now. His shoulders and his back hurt from carrying the fucking team since Mike Trout has been out, and he's going to be out for at least 2 months with the calf strain. It's not like they can fall out of last place, right?
Right.
Artie?
Right.
I caught that, Artie, but I thought it was hilarious. I left it in there. With the start that Ohtani's gotten off to, realistically, would you say he's on track to becoming, or at least being talked about as in the AL MVP race?
I mean, if he keeps it up, of course, he'll win it probably if he keeps it up, But, I mean, that means he'd end up hitting like 60-something home runs, right? Like the record he's on.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's more valuable as a hitter at this point.
He's hit 15 home runs right now so far.
Yeah, I mean, but that's all he's really doing, though. Like, he's hitting the ball, but if you see his batting average, he's hitting like 270.
Mm-hmm. It's not great, but it's good.
It's respectable.
Hell yeah. I'll take a 270 batting average all day.
For sure. Yeah, and you're going to, because that's what he's doing. So, and he's hot.
Yeah.
Imagine when he does not get hot anymore, he's going to dip under 250.
Easily.
So that's why it's like...
He's swinging hard every time, though. He wants to.
He does.
Yeah. He has that hell of a swing. Oh, it is. I mean, he is what he does what he does, man. If he's going to swing that ball as hard as he heat it 117 miles an hour off the bat the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw that. The one he pulled it inside the foul pole. That was impressive.
Oh, man. This guy, he's doing things.
Yeah.
Man.
He is. He's very impressive. He puts all his weight into it and all that.
If you guys have the opportunity to watch him play when he plays one of your guys' teams, make sure you guys watch. If he gets a hold of one, it's pretty damn interesting.
Right. So, I don't know. I mean, if he keeps it up, sure, he'll be the MVP. I don't think he keeps it up, because he's hot. And like I said, he's only hitting 270s, and he's hot, So that means he's going to drop under 250. So realistically, he's going to hit, if he stays like at a decent pace, he's going to be around the 30 or 40 home run marker. I don't know what his RBIs are at. I don't think he's towards the top. So that's why I don't know if he'll even clear 100 RBIs. He kind of reminds me of like a Ryan Klesko, dude that'll drop like 40 home runs and be under 100 RBIs.
Yeah.
That's a stat you should really look at. How many guys have hit 40 home runs and not cleared 100 RBIs?
That would be interesting.
Or who the last guy was. I know I could think of Ryan Klesko was a dude that hit like 40 bombs and under 100 RBIs. I think another dude, maybe the last guy, and I'm just going to throw it out there. I don't know that's the right number. But maybe like a Chris Davis. I think Chris Davis might have had like 40-something bombs and not 100 RBIs. I could be wrong because he had back-to-back years where he had the same exact number of home runs. I want to say it was like 42 home runs.
I think it was 40. That's what I was thinking right now. It was 42.
Yeah. And I believe he had 42. And like, dude, his numbers were almost identical in back-to-back years. It was pretty crazy. You should check out that stat if you get a chance.
I have to go ahead.
But I want to say he might be the last dude that hit 40 home runs and didn't clear 100 RBIs. You know what I'm saying? And I think Shohei's going to be a dude that hits 40, that could hit 40 home runs and not clear 100 RBIs. And the truth is, it's not really his fault. It's just the rest of the Angels aren't doing their thing.
People aren't getting on in front of him, and he can't hit people in if they're not in front of him. Outside of Shohei, we're talking about him. Who do you think is a big contender to have a MVP or to get MVP?
For the American League?
American League.
Vladdy, for sure.
He's up there.
Vladimir Guerrero Jr. I mean, I think he'd be number one right now. He's hitting 3-something. He's got to play. He's in playoff contention. He's hitting 3-something. He leads the majors in home runs, and he's up there in RBIs.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a triple crown. You know what I'm saying? Contender right there. So I would put him there. I would also put either JD Martinez or Bogarts from the Red Sox.
Xander Bogaerts.
They leave their division over there. You know, they got the surprise best record in the American League, I think. So
is it them or the White Sox?
No, I don't know. They keep kind of flip flopping. It just depends what day of the week it is. I can tell you right there in a second.
Today's Friday.
Yeah, but they flip flop. You know, like
they do.
Between it. You know. So, dude, they're not even in first no more. I forgot. Tampa Bay went on that run.
Oh, that's right. They showed up out of nowhere.
Yeah, so they're a half game back, and the Chi Sox have fallen. So, yeah, the Chi Sox are they have the fourth best record in baseball.
Oh.
So Oakland is right there. Oakland's 31-22. Tampa Bay's 32-20. So they got the best record in American League.
Oakland's
and then
what?
Followed
31-22.
Who?
Oh, who'd you say?
Oakland.
Oakland.
31-22.
They're 32-22. They beat the Angels today.
Oh, okay. There you go. So
I gotta give them their one. Fuck them.
Yeah, and Boston was 31-20 heading into the game, and Tampa Bay was 32-20 heading into the game. So Tampa is clearly the best record.
Yeah.
Followed by Boston, followed by Oakland, depending on what happened today, and then the White Sox are right there. Right. So yeah, man. So I'm gonna say I don't think anybody's doing anything ridiculous over in Tampa. But I think they're doing like a good like team game type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look at it right now. Yeah, see, Lowe has 9 home runs, 26 RBIs. Is this right? Oh no, that's runs, walks. 25, 29 home runs, Margot, 29 RBIs, 33 Meadows, solid year. Yeah, nobody's having anything like ridiculous, you know. So I can't say anybody over there in Tampa. White Sox, I don't think anybody's doing anything ridiculous. They had the reigning MVP, but he's off to a slow start. So that's kind of impressive that. I mean, he's got 40 RBIs, but he's hitting, 256. So, yeah, dude, nobody else is doing anything ridiculous, Jermaine Mercedes is nice, 340 batting average.
Yeah. 7
home runs, 20 RBIs, but they're not going to give it to a dude that just broke out of nowhere. I'll tell you that right now. With Oakland, it's got to be, to me, Olsen. I already know Olsen's doing well. Yep, sure enough, 13 home runs, Shohei batting average at 263, 30 RBIs. And he's a standout over there, yeah. So him and Kana, what is it? Kana, yeah, because he's got a 400 on base percentage with 268. On base percentages are really important. So yeah, 400 with 10 jacks and out of the leadoff spot, that's pretty damn good,
Mm-hmm.
But again, not MVP. I would say Olsen. The main dudes would be Olsen, Bogarts, and Shohei. I would say Shohei coming in third for sure. I would say just because of where they're at in the standings.
Yeah.
I would say that for sure. Because Bogarts look 10 home runs, 339 batting average, 31 RBIs, and plays a premium position. Yeah. So he'd be my top guy right now.
Right on. Fucking A. From one top guy to another, the curse of the Pujols is coming up. Pujols was released from the Angels, and the Dodgers picked them up. With the craziest story in the last team that we saw, I think, picking him up, Senior Fluffy Pants, the Dodgers have signed Mr. Pujols from free agency for a league minimum $750,000, with the Angels picking up the rest of his contract for the year. Discount, double check. First at bat of the year with Pujols facing a lefty pitcher, gets an RBI hit. Well, congrats to him. Later on in the week, he was thrown out at first from short left field. At what point does he become a liability for the Dodgers, do you think?
I don't know. He did leg out a double, though.
He did. We just saw that. Oh, my God. He legged out a double yesterday, barely making it. I mean, clearly anybody else would have had a walk-up, stand-up double. Pujols barely getting there. But that man, it hurts me watching him run. And sure I have flat feet, so that'll tell you something.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So, Bellinger's coming. Once Bellinger's here, things are going to change, So,
yeah.
I think right now he's you got to do what you got. You know, he does provide quality major league at bats. I mean, granted, are they really good ones? He had a shot like in a big situation against somebody the other day, and I'm like, all right, you want to endear yourself to Dodger fans? Here's your shot. And that dude struck out on like 3 pitches. Yeah.
He did have he did have 3 RBIs in his first 4 games with a home run.
Yeah.
And
you felt like that's kind of like adrenaline though, you know, like kicking off. Now he's settled in, and he is who we thought he is.
At first, though, the comadre was saying it's the curse of the pool. He knows he leaves the Angels, go to the Dodgers, and lights it up. Well, that light is not too bright right now.
Yeah. My wife was making fun of him the other day. She's like, is that Pujols at first base? They threw a ball that was about a foot above him where he had to jump, and he looked like he had weights on. And I was like, yeah, that's him. Sounds about right.
He
looks like an old man over there, she said.
Vertical leap of 2 inches.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any higher, and he's gonna break a hip, dude.
Yeah, I think DJ Peters looks like he's waking up. The youngster, I think they need to give him a run. You know me, I like when they give youngsters a run, and I think they're gonna give him a run in the outfield, playing center field, and they're gonna put Bellinger. That way, he eases up on that ankle or calf or whatever, and play first base, which is the smart thing to do. You know?
Yeah.
And there you go. That slides fucking Pujols out to the bench.
Right on. Well, he's definitely motivating Belly to fucking get back and rock and roll.
He has 2 home runs down in the minors.
Yeah. How many have they lost since Albert's gotten with the team?
2 going on 3 today.
Yeah.
But that's out of 13, so they have 10 wins, I think.
That's not bad. That's a good average right there. That's like a 800 average.
Yeah, that's doing real good.
I'll take that. Good. Let's see if it holds that way for the rest of the season.
We'll be pretty good. You know, I feel all right. I feel pretty confident there.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of Angels, because he was with the Angels, right? I have weird ways of doing segues, bro. I swear to God. The Angels did acquire a pitcher finally. They picked up relief pitcher Hunter Strickland from the Rays. His first outing, he gave up a go-ahead home run, and the Angels lost. Yay!
Oh, okay. Welcome to the team.
Since then, I know, right? Since then, he has come in a couple clutch innings and actually done pretty well. But that first outing, not a way we want to see his stint with the Angels start. But he's looking a little better now. He's settled down, so we'll see how that goes. Prepare yourself, Mr. Hunter Strickland, and your family for a lot of heartbreak and annoying losses, and a lot of hearing Artie. So. Good news though, really good news. We just got the word from the governor. June 15th, full ballparks are coming, guys, left and right. Full ballparks are coming back to California. The Dodgers and Angels will be able to have full ballparks once again starting on June 15th. That's the day actually I leave for my honeymoon, which is pretty dope. California will remove capacity limits on that date. Tickets will go on sale yesterday, actually, at ballparks and other outdoor venues. The state will recommend, but not mandate, the attendees provide proof of vaccination or negative test for COVID if they don't want to wear the mask and stuff like that while they're there. But, hey, full ballpark. It's going to be really nice to hear the entire crowd and everybody out there. It was nice because we got to go to the game for Mother's Day, right? The Angels and Dodger game. And it was nice having the extra bit of room, but at the same time, it did not feel right not having a full ballpark. I mean, it's the Angels, so it's not always full, but you know what I mean? You know what I mean.
I feel you. Oh, wow. Yeah. Dodgers just hit a 3-run shot to tie it with 1 out or 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. Let me see how many outs are. 2 outs! 2 outs!
Who hit it?
The littlest guy on the team. I'll give you a hint. That was your hint.
The littlest guy? I don't know your team that way, bud.
And he's from Riverside. And he plays catcher. And he wears my favorite number.
Will Smith.
Oh, my God. Well, that's a good guess. Matt Barnes.
Oh, Matt Barnes. Hey,
Austin Barnes. I'm sorry.
Austin Barnes. Oh, look at that. Matt Barnes. Like fucking basketball. I didn't know he played fucking baseball, too.
He's a pitcher. He does. He's a pitcher.
Oh, shut up. Really?
Red Sox. Yeah, I'm
really?
pretty sure it's a pitcher. The Matt Barnes from the Red Sox, I believe.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking of the Barnes that used to play for the Lakers and the Clippers.
No, yeah, I could see that too. I understand.
Yeah,
dude. Go. Oh, guess who's up?
Who's up?
Guess who's up? Albert Pujols.
Oh, we're going to be on the tips of our toes here while we keep talking, waiting to see what Pujols does with 2 outs.
He's already
Bases
down
cleared.
1 in the count.
He's already down 0-1. All right. Let's see. Brave starter Mike Soroka officially out for the rest of the season with the ruptured Achilles. He had surgery on it the other day. He would definitely be out the rest of the year. He was placed on a 60-day DL to start the season and now be out for 2 whole seasons. Hopefully he can come back to form healthy and ready to pitch in the 2022 season. When he first came up, he had like a 2.32 ERA. He was fucking throwing the ball hard, man. So hopefully he gets better, Mr. Soroka. How would you say that?
That doesn't matter.
All right, Mr. Soroka. I hope you do get better, and even though Artie doesn't really give a shit, but we hope that you feel better. All right, guys, we've come to the point in our show. We're about to take a commercial break. Before we do, it's the new segment I like to call Champ or Chump. It's the slump question of the week. I'm trying to come up with interesting questions to see if I can stump Artie for a second or two. Maybe make him guess wrong, or maybe him not knowing what we're talking about. I'm going to ask you the question here, Artie. I'm going to mention some stats here, and then we'll wait till we come back from the commercial break to hear what it is to see if you got it. 23 years ago today, the walk heard round the world. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs.
No way!
What?
Get up, ball! Get up, ball! Get up, ball! Oh, he stole the home run! Wow! Oh, that's a hell of a catch, man. Wow, Albert's like, you stole it? You stole it?
Was he still getting the first base?
Bro, wow. Even all the Dodgers have their hands on their head. Dude, that was a hell of a catch.
Gonna have to go back and look at that.
A lefty. Wow. Hey, man. Found out. Oh, touch him? Wow. Dude, he was clearly, that was a home run. It would have been a home run.
Won the
well
game.
Done, sir.
He would have won the game.
Cap. Tip your cap. Well done, sir.
Well done. All right.
Wow.
Back to what I was
Sorry
saying.
about that.
No worries.
Sorry.
That was interesting. That would have been crazy if you would have hit that. 23 years ago today, the walk heard round the world. Bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, bases loaded. In walks this particular player. And what does the visiting team do? They walk him to walk a run in. They get the next guy out. Who was that guy that came up to the base to the bat and got an intentional walk? Can you name the team who made that walk happen? The answer on the other side of this break, Compa. I'm going to give you a couple seconds here to think about it. Guys, you guys think about it. Who was that mystery player? We'll come back and we'll catch you guys on the other side of the commercial break. Be right back. All right, guys. I hope you guys had a great commercial break. I'm not sure who you got or what they're selling, but hey, why not buy some? I appreciate you listening. Back to what we were talking about. All right. I wonder how many of you listening figured this one out. Okay, Compa. Who had the walk heard round the world, and who is the team that made him walk?
Okay, so I believe the person that had the walk was Barry Bonds.
This is correct.
I believe the team was the Pirates.
Ooh. You want to try again?
Oh, man. I thought it was Jimmy Leland with the Pirates, but
I'm gonna give you one more shot because you did get Barry Bonds. Those of you guys playing at home, Barry Bonds was the answer to the question. But see, I knew that might be a little too easy, so I figured, you know what? Let me get him a little bit of extra on it, and see.
So then I'm gonna stay inside the division then because it's a hard likelihood that happened inside the division. So I'm just gonna say the Padres.
So you're gonna go with the Padres. So your first guess was the Pirates.
Pirates right. And then the Padres. Yeah, I really don't know who it is. I'm just taking a calculated guess.
Well, guys, are you ready? He was walked by. Who was it that he was walked? I think written down here. I'm screwing with everybody now at this point, right? Just trying to make you guys wait to see what happens. And it was actually it was Arizona.
Oh, it was in the damn division, and it was Jimmy Leland. Oh,
it was Jimmy Leland, and it was the Diamondbacks.
And I thought he was out already by that time, but I do remember Jimmy Leland was with Arizona. That's right. Because I remember seeing it. That's why I went with the Pirates. Because I knew Jimmy Leland managed the Pirates, but I forgot he managed the Diamondbacks. I know he managed the Tigers too. But I was like, man, I don't think it was with the Tigers, because I would have had to been interleague, and I don't know if interleague was happening at that time yet, you know. Right. So I'm like, so I'm gonna just say the Padres, which I did not. I felt very confident that Leland did not manage for the Padres, but I was like, I'm just taking an educated guess here. Damn it! But I know the manager was Leland. I guarantee that.
I give you 2 out of 3. Then how about that? Yeah, but you did it. Yeah. You didn't run the table. So
but you did ask me though if I knew who wasn't it the manager or something?
No,
did you ask that before the break?
I said, and my question was, who's the player that got walked, and who was the team that did the walking? I didn't say manager.
Yeah. No, right now. But I'm saying before the break, I thought you had said something about the manager, too.
No, sir. We weren't gone that long.
We were gone a while.
Well, the fans only heard 30 seconds of commercials, so. Okay. So you didn't get it. You are the chump. You got chumped today. You got stumped and chumped and hump. Not really, though. You got 2 out of 3.
What?
I'll give you. You got 1 out of 2 and a bonus.
Yeah, but I got the first one, so if there's only a 1-question thing.
Oh, no. Oh, if there's only, do you think I gotta make it that easy for you, Compa? I gotta give you something.
Well, 2 out of 3 is a win in my book.
It's 1 and a bonus, bro. 1 out of 2 and a bonus.
Still 50-50. Not a loss.
55 because you got the bonus. Okay. This past week, longest-running umpire Joe West had the Cardinals pitcher Giovanni Gallegos remove his ball cap and get a new one after he thought he detected sunscreen on the bill of his cap. The Cardinals ended up defeating the Southside boys, the White Sox. There we go. At a guaranteed rate field. Shout out to my company. But according to a few people, no one really won on this one because it was brought to center stage what people have been kind of hinting at for a long time and really talking about it a lot this season. Baseball has a problem with pitchers doctoring the balls. I know we kind of touched on this a little earlier. The problem with pitchers using substances to get a better grip on the ball is that the practice is so widespread, according to sources, that MLB doesn't know how to police it. And when they try, it just feels like they're using someone as a scapegoat. They're not really cracking down on the real situation, right? Michael Hill, Senior VP of On-Field Operations for MLB, wrote a memo to teams in March detailing the efforts to crack down on the problem. It outlined 3 action items: game day compliance monitors and electronic compliance officers checking dugouts, clubhouses, and other team areas for violations involving foreign substances, balls being taken out of play and submitted to MLB to be studied by a third-party lab, and StatCast data analyzed by the commissioner's office to track changes in spin rate. So if you see a huge spike in spin rate, you might get a dinged on that one. One of the people that brings this up is Bauer. He's been really talking about this. I think before the season started and this season, he actually blasted the Athletics' Mr. Ken Rosenthal, the reporter who broke the story, calling him a gossip blogger. He said he was not under investigation, and MLB was doing a study on the baseballs that involved all pitchers. They're not doing anything with them. No one is under investigation, Bauer said in the press conference. The gossip bloggers just out there writing stuff to throw water on my name or whatever. I don't know, just personal vendettas, I guess. Bauer also talked about mixing substances to create a sort of stickum that increases the spin rate on the ball. He's also accused others of doing the same. So it's not fair for anyone to start pointing fingers at any one particular person. But we are here because the league's inaction or lack of action, this is what's happening. So the I guess you want to call them the pros or the professional people behind the mics and behind the pens, they're saying there's only 2 real options going forward. And I want to hear your input on these 2 options. First option is baseball can just legalize it. MLB says, fuck it. You want to use something to make the balls a little stickier so you can grab them and throw them better, then do it. it can say that Bauer and everyone else who can use whatever they want on the to spin the ball. If everyone's doing it, then just make it legal across the board. But this does give pitchers a greater advantage over hitters at a time when pitching has gotten so good that it's diluting the game, according to the writers, right? One player development executive told Saris that using these substances is better than steroids. Right? JT Realmuto said if the pitchers get to use these substances, then hitters should get to use steroids. Make it a little bit back and forth. He was completely serious now. I know it sounds like something that you might be just joking about, but he was completely serious. But that's the kind of advantage that pitchers are having, being able to doctor these balls. With careers on the line, it's not fair to hitters that their paychecks will be lower because they struck out against pitchers who cheated. The other option is for baseball to just say no. And just get rid of everything, and if anybody keeps using it, they're out. Tell me, Artie, what do you think is going to happen? Do you think baseball's finally going to do something? Which of those two options do you think is going to happen, or do you think it's going to be a third option that we haven't seen yet?
I don't know, man. Baseball is just, they've lost a lot of my respect because they just don't do a lot. You know what I'm saying? To police a game and police each other, and then they have so many excuses, you know, like why they can't do stuff. So I'm gonna say they don't do anything.
Really? Nada? Not one. You don't think they're gonna dime somebody out? It looks like honestly, if I was a betting man, and so I have been known to bet once in a while. If anybody's gonna be a scapegoat, and they're gonna,
this weekend.
What happened? Oh, not this past week. Yeah. But if anybody's going to be the scapegoat, I mean, you got to look at the person who's throwing the most shade out there, and I think Bauer may be setting himself up to be that scapegoat for the MLB to do something. If they do something, I don't know at this point. I don't like Real Muto's take on if you're going to let the pitchers use the stickums or whatever, that you let the batters use steroids. Like that's I don't think you can correlate one and the other.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if you're going to do that, move the mound back another 3-4 feet, and that way, you know, hitters get a little bit more time to look at the ball as it's coming.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That they're not going to do anything because then you need like a action and a reaction. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't see that happening because there's going to be an action and a reaction.
What, if anything, would you do if you were the commissioner?
I would take away the World Series from the Astros and put an asterisk next to their names. Is the first thing I would do.
In relation to this.
Oh, you say that.
I know it. I need to be very specific. I apologize.
Yeah, that'd be the first thing I'd do. Man, I don't have a problem with it because look, dude, here's the thing. Hitting, I feel like hitting's kind of like taking a big step forward and stuff like that. Yeah, the batting averages aren't up, but I feel like the exit velocity on the balls are up, dude, and it's becoming very dangerous for pitchers. And also, too, if pitchers start like losing control, we've already seen how many dudes get hit in the face. I feel like I hardly ever saw dudes get hit in the face when I was young, right? Like hitters. Yeah. And now I feel like they get hit a lot more because these dudes are throwing so hard, you know what I'm saying? And from wicked angles. And the reason I think they also get hit in the face so much more hitters is because they dive into pitches, like they dive into the plate, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because of all the protective gear. Like, think about it. Like, there wasn't a ton of protective gear when we were growing up, you know? A lot of the protective gear was like the ankle stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And then as we got older, it became like, you know, the elbow guard and then the wrist guard and then just like things like that. So I feel like the game has naturally developed. So I'm okay with pitchers having a better grip, having a higher spin rate, stuff like that. Like, it makes the game fun. The batting averages aren't going to go up, dude, because players aren't playing for batting averages. Just like stolen bases have gone down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like,
they just don't run because they're like, why run, 90 feet when I could hit it, 400 and jog, 100 to 180, 360, 360 feet, right?
Yeah.
Like, does that make sense?
No, it does. I'm with you.
So, yeah, I don't think I would be okay with them doctoring and keeping it okay like that because it just makes sense with regards to doctoring the baseball and keeping control of the ball and the safety, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Now, scuffing is different. Something that, like, eliminates the... If it helps with control, I'm okay with it. But if it creates more spin rate, I guess that the spin rate I'm more concerned with than supposed control, you know?
Yeah. Now, when you say scuffing, for those of the fans listening out there, what would be considered scuffing the ball?
Scuffing is creating like a rip in the leather. Oh, came over. He gave it a ride. Scuffing is creating a rip in the ball so that you could create a higher spin rate.
Okay.
I mean, that's the short.
How would a player on the field do that without getting in trouble, or be able to take care of that from, like, let's just say the catcher standpoint?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Right. Unofficially.
So some ways, or the most popular way, my understanding, to do it is to have some kind of sharpness inside of your glove, so that you just run the baseball across that sharpness and creates that scuff.
Okay, what is the another way that people might do the scuff?
What do you mean? Like another way besides that?
Yeah. Do you got any more, or is that the only unofficial?
I mean, I've heard the sandpaper thing inside the glove too. That's old school. I don't think that one's really used anymore. But the sandpaper was a big one.
Right on. What do you think is gonna end up happening, man? Do you think we're just gonna keep going this way until fucking baseball breaks?
I think you're waiting for me to give you an answer that I'm not going to give you. I don't think anything's going to happen. Major League Baseball doesn't do anything about this stuff. The game evolves. People find different ways to cheat. You know?
What's that? What they say? If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Yep, totally agree with it. And I think that sounds about right. Does it make baseball a little hypocritical when they get upset about something like this, or they allow something like this, but then they get upset over a guy swinging 3-0 when they're up by fucking 11? Yeah, but that's sports, right? We're not all gonna agree on everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what makes sports. Like, we don't all agree on stuff. You know, like, oh, well, yeah, you see it this way and I see it that way, yin and yang, right?
And
like,
that's why we have a show.
Yeah. So I think that's the beauty about sports, you know? That's the beauty about sports. Oh, well, yeah, you know, if I had known a fastball was coming, of course I would have swung, you know?
Oh, yeah, look at the asterisks. Look at what they did with knowing what baseballs were coming.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, and I felt like Kershaw took that personal, too, this last game.
Yeah.
Yeah, he went into their stadium, and yeah, man, he took that personal, and he took it to them, dude. Because remember, the Dodgers came out and put out like a big few runs in like the 7th inning, I think.
Yeah.
See, look, I just turned the channel right now, and Hosmer just got drilled up and in pitch that looked like it was going, you know, upper 90s. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, you never saw that often before, you know? Because dudes weren't throwing like mid to high 90s every single time. We had a lot of dudes throwing that finesse stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, hitting corners. Now every dude, if you don't throw 90, it's rare that you're going to be starting, you know?
Yeah.
Like, can you name a starting pitcher that throws under 90 consistently?
Under 90?
Yeah, where he does not hit 90 miles per hour. I can't name one. I mean, I could be wrong there. I'm sure there's some out there.
Bundy?
But Bundy still hits 90, 92, right?
Not all the time, bro. He's averaging 89, 90 even, like, right there.
Okay, so he does touch it. So that's what I'm saying. Like, somebody that does not break 90, dude. You know?
The last person I remember that that finesse pitched was Jared Weaver off the top of my head, just because he's an angel. I know that guy.
I guess Jamie Moore is the dude that comes to my head.
Yeah.
You know, that dude was a straight finesse dude. You know, like, he did not top 90. You know,
the art of the finesse pitcher is definitely gone by the wayside now. With respects to the hurlers now, if you're throwing 100, that's when you're going to get picked up. That's when they're going to go. But that's why they have Tommy John. But like you said, we figured out a way to fix it. So go ahead and blow it out, because we'll fix you up. We'll be back in a year.
Yeah, same thing with like the knuckleball. Knuckleballs are gone, right? Like, you hardly see the knuckleball pitcher anymore.
Yep.
Before, you used to see one like every here and there, and then he'd have a decent little career, like, you know. Now, it's rare, dude. It's we got I mean, the last dude that I could think of that had a nice little career was Tim Wakefield,
Mm-hmm.
Before that, Tom Condiotti.
Who
Before
was
that,
who was
like
the last
Necros.
guy that had it? He was a starting
With
pitcher
the Mets.
Yeah,
He won the Cy Young with the Mets.
Yeah, and he played for the
Blue Jays.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know
What's
his name.
We named the teams and stuff like that, but I can't remember this guy's.
Kiwasami? I said name the team.
We're a team, bro.
And he played for that too. Yeah,
you know who I was talking about. At the end of the day, that's all that fucking matters, man.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but I believe he's also maybe the last and only knuckleballer to win a Cy Young. I don't know if the Necros ever won a Cy Young.
Yeah, it would be interesting.
Look it up. Google it. You have the computer. I don't have the computer.
Bitch.
Google it. But I know who he is. I picture him in my head and everything. I just can't think of the name. I'm not even close. I would not be able to name it at all.
Last knuckleball pitcher. Damn, I didn't even finish and it was already
just
there.
Who was it? He won. Won the Cy Young with the Mets. I believe it was the Mets who won the Cy Young.
R.A. Dickey. He retired about 2 years ago at 45.
Yeah, and he did win one with the Mets, right?
Yes, he did. No, he did.
Okay, I could be wrong, like I said, but I believe he's the only knuckleballer to win a Cy Young.
From what I remember, that is correct, sir. I don't like telling you you're right all the time, man, but damn it, you're right.
So yeah, man, I think just the art of the finesse is gone, man. They rather go to, what is it? They call it the starter, method, where they put a relief pitcher to throw 2-3 innings, and then they create, a bullpen game.
Yeah.
So like they rather go that because the dudes are throwing 90 somethings,
Yeah, high 90s and just
yeah.
going to town for 3 innings and bye.
Well, yeah. So I'd like our fans to figure out who is who is a starting pitcher that does not hit 90 miles per hour.
Consistently.
Yeah, consistently does not hit 90.
That'd be
he
interesting.
He cannot hit 90 miles per hour. That fool's life depending on it. Yeah, because I can't think of a dude. Maybe, but I don't even think he's starting anymore. David Price. I don't think David hits 90 anymore.
David's definitely out of the bullpen.
Yeah, and he was a starter yesterday. He was a starter in the bullpen game that we're talking about.
Yeah.
So. Yep.
I'm realistically trying to figure out who would be somebody pitching right now that is a starting pitcher that would be
not hit 90.
Yeah, listeners, you guys let us know if you guys find out between now and the next show who that is, and let us know if you guys pick that up. We'll throw that question out on the interwebs, on the Instagram and the Twitter, and see if anybody kicks back with something. Anything else on baseball, dude, before we get over to the NFL?
I thought that play with Javi Baez was really interesting. Dude, he grounded out to shortstop. Shortstop threw it off the line. First baseman came and got it. Javi hit the brakes, then ran all the way basically back to home plate. And the dude was at second base when Javi first hit it, and he kept running. I didn't see how many outs there were, though. That's the one thing I regret. I didn't really take a look how many outs. Because then the first baseman was like, oh, well, I already got Javi locked up here. Might as well get the dude that's trying to score at home. That dude's safe, so he throws it home. And then Javi realizes nobody's at first base. So then he starts running his buns off over first base. And they overthrow it, and the ball goes into right field. And kind of trickles into right field, and then he keeps going to second, and then they overthrow it a second, but luckily there was someone backing up there. But I was like, go to third, little league play, No, that
was a great, just an amazing play where I'm sure he did it. Maybe I don't want to say sarcastically, but as a joke, kind of stopping and running back, like, oh, you gotta come get me, like you're not gonna just tag the base or whatever. But then he realized, holy shit, hey, my guy on second is still running. He might make it home. And once he did clear home, he turned around and he looked over at first, like you said, and it was clear. So he ran down there. Basically, it was a foot race with the second baseman. And he actually slid into first base. And the second baseman, it was overthrown. And he got up and he ran over to the to second base, which is hilarious. But yeah, it was even overthrown then, like you said, and crazy play. You don't get to see that very often.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I thought that was a trip. Thought that was a trip for sure.
All right. Any other baseball news before we get over to the NFL?
Not that I could think of. I could be wrong here. Yeah, I don't know. Not off the top of my head.
Yeah, nothing else off the top of my head is like screaming at me like, oh, don't forget to talk about this. But it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's jump into the NFL. We only got a few things we're going to talk about the NFL, and then we'll talk a little bit of basketball, and then we're going to get head out of here. What's the deal with Julio? That's my best Jerry Seinfeld impression. I know it wasn't great. Leave me alone. The top 4 teams, the Hall of Famers trying to get the hell out of Atlanta. Top 4 teams that have been talking about or connected with that future Hall of Famer going over to is the Patriots, the Niners, the Colts, and the Titans. He was spotted in the Dallas area in a Cowboys hoodie. Will Dallas make a move? What do you think it's going to – I know it's not going to happen, but what do you think it's going to cost at the end of the day for any team to get Julio?
I think it's going to cost them either like 2 2s or 1.
Who do you think of the top 4 teams that they're talking about that's going to go ahead and take him? Who do you think is going to – who do you think will pony up the first round pick to go ahead and get him?
If it were me,
yeah,
I would try to get go with Arizona because they have the most potential right now. Where like they have a star quarterback, he'd get a lot of open looks because they already have a star receiver there along with the second receiver. He'd be a second receiver like 1A 1B type of thing.
Yeah,
and that was one of the dudes talking about, hey, remember what we talked about,
Yeah.
About linking up together. So, so Hopkins and him with Kyler Murray, bro, Kyler Murray be the MVP of the league, I think, or at least Offensive Player of the Year.
He would, Texans would definitely be
not Texans, Arizona.
Arizona would be I was thinking Deshaun Watson for some reason. But Arizona would be freaking lethal at that point. So our boy Leon might actually have somebody to root for at this point.
Yeah.
Travis Kelce did tweet out a picture of him and Julio with the caption, "Can you imagine?" I'll tell you what, I'm intrigued. This would be a game changer. What do you think about Kelce trying to throw the KC hat in the ring for them?
That's
Julio.
not going to happen either. I don't see that happening. But anything's possible. You never know,
Yeah.
But I don't see it happening. You?
I don't. If you're gonna have to give up a first round pick for Julio, right? Why not be the very last pick in the first round? You know what I mean?
I don't think the team will want that though.
True, but you're asking for a first rounder or 2 seconds. They're gonna give you a first rounder.
Like what you said.
They didn't specify, I want a high first rounder. They said, I want a first rounder. At that point, anything's possible. You know what I mean? Because they're going to be, they're going to make it deep into the playoffs. It's just, they're one of the favorites to win the Super Bowl this next coming up year. It's one of those things, or at least be in the Super Bowl, right? It will have been their 3rd year. It will be their 3rd year in the Super Bowl in a row, which would be pretty dope. I don't know, man. I think they would ask too much more because they're so low in the draft. I think they would ask for that first round and maybe a second and a third or 2 seconds. I don't know, man.
Yeah. I would think. Well, maybe a first and a second. Maybe they would do it, But
I honestly feel like if the Cowboys did it right, I hope they wouldn't give up a lot to do it. It would be interesting. I don't think I have like a 10% chance maybe it'll happen, but 90% of me says that's never gonna happen, dude. There's no way. There's no way it's happening.
What do they need more offense for, dude?
They picked up a whole bunch of defense in the draft. You say why do they need more offense, but it's fucking Julio Jones. It's like getting Negatron. You know what I mean? Like, why not get him if you?
Where are you gonna put him though? Are you gonna put where as the number 3 receiver? You're gonna put that youngster that looked like he was breaking out as the number 3 receiver?
CeeDee Lamb would be number 2.
Yeah. Over Cooper?
Oh, I forgot we had Cooper too. That'd be rough. He would have to be the number 3 receiver.
Right?
I mean, he would break out
dude.
because they'd be covering Cooper
No,
and Jones.
no. That's not how that works.
I know. Let me believe.
That's not how that works.
Let me believe.
He'd be the best number 3 receiver in the league. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, he would not break out. You're not gonna be like, oh, hey, he's gonna have 1,000 yards receiving as a number 3 receiver. Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Well, who do you think he ends up with, other than Arizona? If you had to pick one,
I mean, if I had to pick one, I think Arizona, because I think Arizona is gonna say, all right, you know what? Let's go for it. Let's go for it all. We're in a league in a NFC where we could get him. If it were me, I would maybe Green Bay to make them happy, dude. Rodgers say, look, if we get you Jones, we shut the fuck up to play the game.
Imagine if he got Jones, though.
Yeah. So, I mean, that'd be stacked right there. So, I mean, I'm just throwing it out there. That's just like a wild card for me, like to try and make them happy. Is there another quarterback that's really unhappy out there, I mean, that's has a shot at winning, like that's gonna take that shot. You know what I'm saying? I think it'd be. I personally think if I'm taking some numbers, I'm gonna say Green Bay. I'm gonna say Arizona because I think they're contenders, and the Bills.
Ooh. Bills would be an interesting one as well. They got an offensive powerhouse. I'm gonna throw one at you, okay? Because I heard a couple people talking about it. Why not go to Tampa Bay?
Because there's too many mouths to feed already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't think Tampa Bay cuts the fat and brings in Julio?
No.
I mean, I gotta ask, bro. I mean, this is what I'm reading. This is what people are talking about. I gotta ask my boy here, my compadre. I gotta ask him, hey, you think it's possible? I don't think so.
Yeah, it's possible. Anything's possible if 50 hooked up with Vivica,
If anything's possible with Vivica, huh?
You heard that line, right?
Yeah.
That song? Okay, I didn't want to say what he actually
No. I got you. I'm just like, wow, dude. Wow.
Got him.
Got him.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. That's just what I think, dude. I mean, those are the teams. Yeah, I don't know, dude. You got to pick a team that says, let's go for it. Let's just throw all the marbles. How much marbles you got to throw all the chips on the table? Those are 3 teams that are right there on the verge, right? Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I think so. They're one key offensive player that could propel them into a deep playoff run.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So I think
you
those 3.
You know Arizona's going to make a run. Green Bay gets them. They're definitely making a run deep. You like it when I say that, huh? Deep.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. You know what I mean? Let's see where the chips lie when OTAs and all that shit starts. Or
what do you think? Don't give me what you hope. I want to know what you think.
I like the thought of him going to Green Bay to appease Rodgers, and kind of be like, "Look, man, we're trying to help you out. Please stay." I do like your sentiment with the Arizona. I think that would be a stupid move if you didn't do that. If they didn't try to go and help them win right now. I think they're built. The way they've built up that team, I think they need that one big breakout guy, and I think Julio does that for them.
Well, I think it creates that it opens it up for Hopkins, because Hopkins is the dude, but I feel like they just need a 1A 1B, and Hopkins, Wendell, both of these dudes, Jones and Hopkins or Wendell's got to be close,
Yeah, they're
on the tail end of their elite careers, wouldn't you say?
I mean, Julio's right there too. He's on he's over the hill. Maybe he's not out to pasture, but I mean, at this point, why not have 3 vets like that that are ready to rock and roll? Right.
Yeah. So,
I really honestly like that Arizona pick. I'm gonna go with that. I think I think he ends up staying. Honestly, I think he ends up staying in Atlanta, but. I think Arizona makes too much sense at this point.
But he told Shannon Sharp that he's not coming back, right?
Well, he said, I'm out of here, is what he said, is I am out of here.
So what, he retires?
I don't know. I mean, if he retired now, do you think he's a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a Hall of Fame. He's in the boat with Megatron right there. He's the same type of dude, like, yeah, he's that guy,
Yeah. All right, right on. Speaking of from one megastar to another megastar, making his way back into the league, Tim Tebow is headed to Jacksonville, not as a quarterback though, as the tight end on the heels of being released by the Mets organization and MLB saying goodbye. Tebow is now headed to Jacksonville for a reunion with the coach. Is it going to be charity or is it going to be earned? Will he make the team, or will this be another failed attempt of him to drag himself back into the NFL? What do you think, Artie?
A little publicity type of thing, he's athletic, bro. So, I mean, damn, bro, that dude was drafted, or to go play baseball. He's minor league and he was hitting some home runs. He was hitting low average, but he hit some yaks,
Dude is
He was a running quarterback. Dude, and you know what? I have no hate for that guy. That guy is like one of the most loving people. You could hate him, and he's like, absolutely. God bless you. God bless you. I wish you nothing but the best. I get it. You hate me because I'm beautiful, which he is a good-looking guy,
Yeah.
You hate me because I've won.
He reminds me of like Tiny Tim. God bless you, everyone.
Yeah, right? Like, no matter what, dude. So that's just like, hey, I'm just here for the ride, man. He's like, I'm just blessed to have this opportunity, and I'll do whatever they ask.
Oh,
and
no,
bro, I want guys like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude. So, and they were horrible. I believe they were dead last in tight ends last year in the NFL, like in terms of production. So it's not like you're losing anything. You already had the worst tight end position in all of the NFL last year.
Oh yeah, you can only get better.
Yeah, so yeah, man, I don't got a problem with that.
I like it, man. I hope he does well too. Like you said, he's one of the most well respected and lovable guys in the NFL. I don't think I've ever heard him say a bad word about anybody about anything.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, man.
It couldn't have happened, or it couldn't be happening to a better guy.
Yeah. So I'm all right with that. So,
quick hit on the NBA real quick. The Lakers, after losing the first game, came back and won the next two, so they're up 2-1 on the Suns. I believe it was Bron came out and said, hey, that first loss was on me, but they lit that shit up, man. And they came back, won the last two games, so they're rocking and rolling. They're looking in peak playoff mode now. I think they figured out after that first loss, they're like, wait a minute. We're not going to lose this fucking shit. We're not losing to the Suns. How deep, honestly, do you think the Lakers are going to go this season, or the playoffs?
I kind of feel like they lose in the Western Conference Finals, man.
Yeah. Who do you think they lose to?
Jeez. The Nuggets and Jokic look pretty good. I think, he's with the Nuggets. The Jazz are pretty damn good too, because it's got to be, I think, a center that could at least slow down Anthony Davis, and I think both of those centers could slow him down,
Okay.
So, so I think one of those two teams, in my opinion. I think those Suns, the reason they're not losing to the Suns because good old Chris Paul is getting hurt in the playoffs like he usually does,
Yeah.
Which, that's been like the story of that dude's life, And it's kind of the same thing. He hurt his shoulder, he hurt his knee. I forgot what it was, game one, and he's kind of fighting through it, but he's not the same dude,
Yeah.
And then the Lakers are starting to click at the right time, like getting healthy and click. And, dude, they got two dominant players, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Two dominant players. I don't see them. I don't think they've had enough time to gel together. I wish they would have came back a little sooner in the end of the season so that they could find their mojo. But, I mean, I feel like they're taking advantage of who they're facing with the Suns and saying, well, I think it's is it a 5-game series? It's not a 5-game series.
No, it's a 5-game series.
Oh, it is. So there you go. They're one win away from taking the series.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sitting down the Suns are the number 2 team. Number
2, yeah. But again, they're walking wounded type of team,
Yeah. So. That's how you don't want it. You want to be like the Lakers right now, getting hot when it's time to strike, not like the Suns where they're falling apart right when it's time to fucking get ready to go.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So if the Lakers lose in the Western Conference Final, who do you think is going to be in the final in the final game for the NBA playoffs on the West side, I should say.
I just told you the two teams that I thought would beat them. So
I know, but who do you think is going to win? If the Lakers not, we got the Jazz and you got the Nuggets. Who do you think goes to the NBA Finals?
That's what I'm saying. One of those two teams.
Right, but who do you think out of those two teams makes it to the finals?
I don't know because I don't know who's going to be in the in the Western Conference Finals. I think the Lakers are playing one of those two teams in the Western Conference Finals. I don't know who gets there from those two teams.
But you don't think the Lakers beat it out and go to the playoffs or the
exactly.
Yeah. It makes so much more sense now, sir.
Okay. Did you see Shohei was buzzing the Oakland A's and they had a little tension over there?
Oh, yeah. He did apologize. He said, hey, man, my bad.
He's like, yeah, I could tell those words came out of his mouth. Hey, did you see why he missed his start yesterday?
Yes.
Traffic?
Traffic, bro. Fucking California traffic, bro. Okay, as I said.
Northern California, right?
I know. Like, they have that many cars. Come on.
Right.
They all take the BART up there, dude. I don't know why anybody's talking to
Right. Right.
All right, man. Anything else before we get out of here, man?
Some boxing matches. You know, that was interesting. What I saw was going on. Something about, like, Fury and, like, having to go to court and having to, like, give the rematch to the other dude. And then the guy who was set up to fight was talking smack, and he's like, oh yeah, well, you know, you're chickening out, and he's like, dude, we told you we might have to do this, blah blah blah.
Right.
You know? So I found that interesting.
Right on. It'll be interesting to see the fucking Mayweather and the Jake Paul fight. I hope somebody gets knocked out.
That's this weekend?
It's actually no, it's not this weekend. It's next weekend. It's on the 6th. Actually, it's a Sunday.
Okay.
The day after the wedding. I thought it was on the 5th for some reason, but I guess it's on the 6th.
All right.
I think that's it, compa. I think we're done for the day. I think we got some good time in there, and I want to mention to everybody once again, next week we won't be having a show because it'll be wedding weekend, and we'll come back for the show after that, the week after, but then the week after again, I'll be on the honeymoon, so we will not be recording once again. But then I'll be back for the following week. So you're going to have intermittent shows here and there. But we love you guys. We do appreciate it. And next time we talk, I'll be married. Oh, my God. I'm getting out of here, guys. Bye. All right, Compa, let's hear the goodbye.
All right, mi gente. Get your vaccines if you want. Wear those masks. Wash those hands because June 15th, the masks come down and you will automatically be enrolled if you're in California for the lottery of $1.5 million that the governor has issued. Did you pay attention to that?
No, I did not.
Oh, you didn't see it? I thought you would have seen that tweet. Yeah, so people are automatically entered into like a lottery if you have the vaccine by June 15th. There's going to be, I think there's like 10 $1 million winners and one $1.5 million winner.
Shut
I forgot.
up.
Yeah, I forgot the exact things, but
we got,
yeah, something like that.
We got 4 chances over here. Me, Judy, Logan, and Rogue. We're ready to rock.
There you go. But they're independent now, your kids. So
well, Rogue is still under my taxes, and Logan is still under my house. So
they're both 18. So
this is very true.
Just saying. But yeah, dude. So that came out. I wish I had the tweet or I'd share it with you. I saw it real quick. Big Boy in the Morning was talking about it and everything, and so it was interesting.
Yeah, that's one way to incentivize people to try and go and get the vaccine, which is good.
All right. Yeah. Well, the big number is always interesting. I never really believe in it, but I feel like if they go smaller numbers, like, and more people, then that would really incentive more people. Kind of like how they did with like the stimulus, like if they went something like that,
Yeah.
I think that would incentive people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because wouldn't you think it'd be easier to give out, like, I don't know, let's say $5,000 stimulus checks for people that got the vaccine, as opposed to like $1.5 million winner?
I think
like,
so.
where are you more likely to, if someone tells you, hey, we guarantee you get 5, I think he should be something like, okay, we'll have $1 million winner, but we'll give you, I don't know, let's give it a nice clean number, something that people will do it. Maybe like a 3, right? So let's say 3,000 if you get vaccinated. We'll give you $3,000 for getting vaccinated. That makes sense?
Yeah.
Like guaranteed, you get guaranteed $3,000. I think more people would do it. All the people on the fence like $3,000. All right, I'm in. What number do you think? Again, over under, like kind of where your dad is. But what number do you think is like the number where like, you know what, that's worth it?
I think honestly, $1,500. I think would get people in there.
I was gonna say 2 for sure.
I think $1,500. If you told me $1,500, I know a few people. Andy, I know you're out there. I know $1,500 to go get a fucking shot. Let's go. You know, but if you're gonna give me $3,000 to do it, let's fucking go. I'll turn in my card tomorrow. Give me my money. I know my dad's thinking the same thing. Give me the money. Let's go.
Right? Yeah. Easy money, right?
Easy money plays. Easy money plays.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So I don't know. I think that would be the smarter thing. You really want more people, break it down smaller.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Micro instead of macro.
Give everybody a little bit of a taste of the pie before you just start throwing it out there like that.
Yeah, because for me, I don't even care about the 1.5 because I already know I'm not going to win it. You know?
Yeah.
So
I'm down with that, dude. Give him more incentive. Definitely give him more incentive. All right, compadre, let's get on out of here. Let's stop talking everybody's ear off. I hope you guys have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Remember why we do have this extra long holiday, or not extra long, but make sure you know why we have this long holiday. Please be safe. We don't want anybody getting hurt or anybody not coming back listening to more of the show or just not being around. We'll miss you. Don't be that guy. Thanks. I know I haven't said thank you to all the listeners from around the world in a while, but thank you guys all for listening to us and hanging out with us every week, almost every weekend. We wouldn't be here without you guys. Make sure you guys continue to do what you're doing. Like, subscribe, follow, do all that fun jazz. All right, compa, let's get out of here, man. I'll see you on Sunday.
All right, te watcho.
Good night, guys.